looks like a tiny Barack Obama.
Ladies and gentlemen, 4 years ago, myself and many fellow activists sat in solitary confinement in Maldives prison cells. We sat in those jails not because we had committed any wrong. We sat in those cells because we had the hours of the dictatorship. We had spoken out for a cause in which we believed. That cause was freedom and democracy. There were times sitting in that prison when I felt more alone than you can imagine. There were times when I started to believe the doubters who said the Maldives would never become free. Sometimes it felt like the doubters were right. The dictatorship had all the guns, bombs, and the tanks. We had no weapons other than the power of our word and the moral clarity of our cause. Many democracy activists like us had vanished, forgotten by history, their struggle a failure. But in spite of the odds, we refused to give up hope. We refused to listen to the voice of doubt and discouragement. We refused to be swayed by those who could not see the change was on the way. And we were right to stand up for what we believed. We won our battle for democracy in the Maldives. I stand before you today as the first democratically elected president in the history of our country. The path to democracy in the Maldives was not straightforward. It was bumpy and full of turns. But we were determined that no matter how difficult the terrain, we would reach the end of the road. And we succeeded in our course. A year later, and a continent away, we meet here to confront another seemingly impossible task. We are here to save our planet from the silent, patient, and invisible enemy that is climate change. And just as there were doubters in the Maldives, so there are doubters in Copenhagen. There are those who tell us that solving climate change is impossible. There are those who tell us taking radical action is too difficult. There are those who tell us to give up hope. Well, I am here to tell you that we refuse to give up hope. I am here to tell you that we refuse to be quiet. We refuse to believe that a better world isn't possible. I have 3 words to say to the doubters and deniers. 3 words with which to win this battle. Just 3 words is all what we need. You may already have heard them. That is 350. 350 and 350 saves the coral reefs. 350 keeps the Arctic frozen. 350 ensures that our country survives. 350 makes a better world possible. I am here to tell you that down the road in the center, the Maldives team is fighting to keep 350 in the negotiating text. I must tell you that they need all the help that they can get from you. Please keep supporting them. And the good news is that we are now part of a growing bloc of nations. all committed to keeping 350 as the central guiding goal of global survival plan. These nations need help and support too. I'm not a scientist, but I know that one of the laws of physics is that you cannot negotiate with the laws of physics.